How's the week of practice been going leading up to game one?
We've had a great week of practice. I think our kids are excited about having our opener, and they know Valencia is a really good team, and they're excited about it. The film study is up compared to the year past, and kids are really watching film and studying our opponent, and they're pretty excited. They're up for the challenge. I know. I think Valencia, they have them at 5th or something right now in 5A, and they're a big play team. We've got to keep that down to a minimum, and we can't make mistakes on offense.
This is still a young group, but the experience level is so much better compared to last year. Talk about how important that is for you as a coach. Right. You have so many kids that have varsity experience going into game one.
Absolutely. When people look at us, we're young. I don't know if there's another team in the state as young as we are. As of right now, I hate saying 1s and 2s because I don't feel that way about our kids, because our 2s are just as good as some of our 1s. I mean, it's so tight. It's really tight comparison on them. And so when we put 2s in, I mean, we're not dropping off. But right now in our starting roster, I think we have 2 starting seniors on defense and 1 on offense. I mean, we're young. We're juniors and sophomores. We have 5 starting sophomores. But now experience-wise, yeah, a lot. When we had 9 kids on the offensive side that were sophomores last year that were starting and at one time or another, and most of them started the whole season, that's a heck of a tough JV schedule for sophomores. And they're pretty excited about it. We come in with a lot of experience compared to last year. And I could see that, even going into our scrimmage, you could just see that confidence. Last year when we went in our scrimmage, I didn't see that confidence, and there was a huge difference going in that scrimmage against Roswell, and we'll find out, and hopefully that carries over to our first game.
And maybe a little bit of big eyes at the beginning of last year. That's not going to be the case this year.
Yeah, we talked about that. It kind of scared me a little bit last year when I was in that locker room. I was like, oh man, I said, I don't want to judge our kids, but they look a little bit kind of scared a little bit there. But when you think about it, you have that many sophomores that have never even played a JV game, let alone a varsity game there, and then we opened up with one of the best teams in the state then too. The one thing I see right now, we don't have that. We don't have fear. Our kids are so much stronger. The weight room, but their strength, and they feel it. They have confidence in themselves, and I hope we can come back with a win for our community.
What do you think teams are going to have trouble dealing with when they face you this year?
We got weapons. I know I always say that, but we got weapons. I'm going to put our receiving core against anyone in the state. We do. We got 4 receivers that can flat out, they catch a ball, they're gone. And they're really good, and people try to press us. We get off press. Everything that we've seen this year defensively throughout the summer, and now in our scrimmage stuff, it's just like we've been practicing. So our receivers got a lot of confidence in themselves. And, and Kyle, he's throwing the ball really good. He is a sophomore, and this will be his first starting varsity game. And it will be interesting to see how he did. I know Kyle, our quarterback, he played really well against Roswell. He was very efficient. He took control of the offense and executed the plays we were calling. And hopefully we can keep doing that. But Kyle can't do that without our line. I mean, we got 1,000 pounds of meat up there in front, and they play their tails off for Kyle and to make sure he doesn't get a sack, because, if you don't get every half you don't get sacks, he brings them guys donuts, so it's a big deal for him. And then we get this week we're going to be short our running back. I'm not going to let our running back play. He turned his ankle in the scrimmage, and he's not 100%, so I'm not going to let him play this week. So we'll move some people around, and we'll be okay.
Talk about Kyle, his progression, and how comfortable you are with in terms of him running the offense. I mean, is it completely open for his ability to run?
It is. What I do is I limit him to most of our plays. He has 2 options. And that's what I limit it to. As he gains more confidence in what we're trying to do, he understands all we're doing, but I don't want to overload him in a game. When you have a young quarterback, it helps a lot to have them kind of weapons around you, take that pressure off them. And especially when you can run the ball. When you can run the ball, like I think we can, it sure takes a lot of pressure off your quarterback. It makes the throws a lot easier, because now receivers, they're open. Our receivers really, their goal is to make Kyle look like he's the best quarterback in the state, and they do a great job, because man, they go up and catch some great balls. When you look at our receivers, you got Julian on one side, you got on the right side, then you have on the opposite, you have Marcelo, and with Marcelo and Julian on the edges, I tell you right now, you better honor them, because they can flat out run, and they're pretty good.
Yeah, you have those 2 guys on the edge and those 2 slot receivers. Yes. I mean, you talk about how fast Brandon and how strong Hunter is.
Absolutely. And then you got Alex, and Alex, normally it's Alex and Hunter at them slot positions. And this week we're going to make some changes, because Hunter's going to probably have to go to running back, and we're going to rotate running back, and Julian's actually going to run a little running back, and he looks pretty darn good at running back also. And so when we get our running back,
Talk about Carlos a little bit.
Yeah,
his
Carlos.
Ability to
Carlos,
run the
he's a blessing to come here. That's for sure. And I'm so glad to have him. He's a transfer in from Georgia, and him and his whole family just packed up and moved here to Alamogordo. They just loved the area, about like I guess we did in my family, and they wanted to raise their kid here, and I'm glad to have him. And he's special. I'll tell you right now, anyone that watched him, they know he is the real deal. He'll cut on a dime, and he's full speed in one step. It's pretty amazing to watch him, and I think he's going to shock the state. I know very few people know about him, and I don't make it public out there to a lot of these people in their community because they're going to know about him right away because he's pretty darn dangerous.
Yeah, and I think by the end of the year, that's a name that a lot of people are.
Oh no,
know.
In my opinion, he's definitely one of the top running backs in the state, if not the top running back in the state. And I know people think, oh, that's a lot to say, but yeah, just wait till you watch him. He's pretty darn special.
Let's put some names behind that beef up front, because I know we talked about Christian Garnand and his size, but talk about some of those other guys in that offensive line.
We got Christian Garnand. He's our right tackle. We got Nathaniel Martin. He's our right guard. He's 240. And then we have our sophomore, and we have a little Santi, and I think he's probably pushing 220, 230 also. And he's our center, and he's a really, really smart player. And he never left the field last year. As you know, he was on the field at JVs and on the JV level, and he was an animal. And now he's jumped up to varsity, and I'm expecting great things out of that young man. He's pretty special, and he does not want to let our team down. That's what makes him even better. And then right next to him you have Bubba Noel, and he's starting at left guard, and he's another one. He's the lightest on our team, on our O-line. I think he's 210. And then we have on the other side we got another sophomore, and it's ironic. He was my wide receiver at JV last year, and that's Dewey. And yeah, he's special. He's a sophomore, and he's another one that's going to open a lot of eyes this year. I see Dewey going big time in college when he's a senior. He's only a sophomore, and I couldn't even tell you how big he is. He's huge. Yeah. He's a big man, and he's got his family. His dad, boy, he works his tail off, and it shows that kid's strong. He's a strong boy.
You maybe didn't necessarily have as much as you wanted last year. Having that kind of size on both sides of the line,
absolutely,
what that does for you and opens up things that you're able to do.
What helps us too is when we're doing a scout team for the defense. Man, when I have my starting line in, holy cow, boy! Our defense is getting a heck of a good look because we got a pretty good line, and they block really well, and it gives our defense a heck of a look. And we'll hopefully our line is better than some of the lines we play, so our defense will be ready to play.
Christian going to play both ends, both offense and defense?
Yeah, he'll rotate. He's a rotator. But he's more important to me on offense. Everyone says defense wins championships. Coach Ward and I, we laugh all the time. We joke with each other all the time because he thinks defense wins championships. I actually believe offensive line wins championships, and I think the O-line can make a good defense look really bad. And so I really try to keep my O-line stacked together. But we have him and Dewey. They both go on and they will rotate, absolutely. They'll get reps at defense this week for sure. And we've been training them hard, I don't baby them. We're trying to prepare for districts, and I'm sorry that we might be a little bit sore going into our games, but we're preparing for districts, and we're trying to get these kids so they can do Ironman football, so we can have a few of these kids when we need them. They're in, and they're not going to miss a beat.
Obviously, those two guys, Will's going to be a big part of what you guys do on the defensive line. What about up front is going to be a big part of what you guys do?
Yeah, well, we got William. William will probably never come off the field. That's William Hooper. That's my oldest son. He's a senior, and when you look at him, you would never think he's a player. And boy, he's something special. It's for sure. He plays way above his size, but he works his tail off in that weight room. He's pretty darn strong. He'll squat a lot of weight, and he'll power clean a lot, and it shows his heart. He's a kid that will. You try to get these kids to fight for their brothers, and he's a kid that truly fights for his brother, and he's pretty special. And then on the edges, we got we got a good rotation on ends. We got Hunter. Hunter can play about anywhere. If we had a team of Hunters, we'd be state champions every year. That kid is a special athlete. I don't know. I bet I put him at quarterback. I don't know. He can play anywhere. And when we got Hunter on the edge, because he'll come down and he'll knock your head off anytime. I mean, that kid is fearless. And we got him, and we got other side. We got people rotating. We got Farrington, Pennell, JJ, and we have a pretty good rotation in there. And of course, we try to rotate, get Hunter some air too, because Hunter won't ever come off the field. And especially this week with him running the ball. Our linebackers, you got Alex Cruz and you got Silva. Both those kids are just scrappers, boy. They're pretty special. On our outside edges, you got, of course, on our Sam, we got Brandon. Brandon Harrison, and I can't say enough. Brandon and Hunter, those two are they're like bookends. They're pretty special. And then the other side, you got Jesse Ward, and of course he's a coach's kid. He's just like Kyle. I mean, he studies football religiously. He'll call the play before it's ran. He's pretty special, and he's a sophomore. And then we got our DBs, and we're pretty good at DBs too. We have a good rotation on DBs. Returning, we have Freddie, and he'll be at corner, and he's another one that could play any of those DB spots. And I don't know. I'm pretty excited.
And Alex Ramirez, he's going to be back there at free safety?
Alex can go back to free safety. Alex is a special talent. Well, that kid as a sophomore, man, he is fearless. He's pretty special, and he's came a long ways. He's my starting Y right now, and boy, it's funny. You get them receivers that want the ball constantly, and he's one of them kids. Coach, I'm open. Yeah, he's always open. That's what he thinks. So he wants the ball every play, and he's a pretty good little athlete. And he'll come down as safety, and he'll lay it on you. That's for sure.
And I know special teams, a lot more confidence in that group this year.
Absolutely. We've been working a lot of special teams. I handed over a lot of my responsibility on special teams to Coach Ward, and he's taken over our kickoff return, and they look pretty good, And special teams, it's an attitude. We have to have a sound foundation of what our scheme is on special teams, and which we have right now. And now we just got to put the athletes in there that want to go psycho, and that's what we do. We don't baby our kids on that neither. I mean, we put our athletes on special teams, and there's no one. Yeah, I don't do where all our backups go on, but no, we're there to play special teams, and we look pretty good there. We have our punting game. We got my boy Kyle. He's punting for us right now, and he's looking good at punting. He's getting better every day. PAT. We right now Alex is doing our kicking on PAT, and I feel pretty confident about that. I thought we did okay last year on that too, and I don't see that changing this year at all. And the good thing about, I think for sure this year we got returners. Marcelo's pretty special. I'm telling you, when that kid will catch a ball, he is hitting that. He gets it quick. And we got some returners this year. And it's nice when now teams are going to, we'll see if they want to punt to us. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this week. Let's talk about Valencia. They got 3 great running backs, and they like to run the flex bone, that triple, that option offense.
They're going to run a lot of spread, actually, I think.
Do you think so?
I do. They got a quarterback at 6'6", and he can sure throw a country mile. He really can. He can throw that ball. I don't know, man. He probably throw that ball 70 yards. He's pretty special, but they got another kid. They're number 30. That kid's a
McLaren, I think is his last name.
He's something. Boy, that kid's a man. He's a man. Honestly, he's a hunter, except bigger, I think. Yeah, that's what he reminds me of. He'll bring it, man, and he's going to be a player that our kids they're watching. We're going to be on that kid because he's something. And then they got two speedsters, and defensively they don't have a lot of players out for football. That baffles me because I know Coach Dolly, he runs a great program. I don't understand why they have to struggle in numbers. I'm not sure on that situation, but I think they have 34 out for their program right now. So a lot of those kids don't really come off the field, and he's got a couple. I know his son being one of them, good head coach's son. He's a D tackle and I think on a guard. Boy, he's pretty special too. And he again a coach's kid, and he seems really smart on the field. And again, we've been watching it. We know what we got to do to take care of those special athletes they have.
What are some things offensively you guys need to do this week if you want to come out victorious?
Number one, not turn the ball over and not get penalties and beating ourselves. We got to be good on penalties. Penalties can really beat us, and they're a big play team, so we really need to try to keep the ball away from them, and that's what we're going to try to do. I think the bottom line is Kyle's got to be really crisp on his reads. He really does, and he's got to be quick on his reads. When we do run the ball, our O-lines, they really got to blow them up. They really do, because that's going to help so much if we can do that. And these tackles we're going against this week, they might be the best tackles we face until we get into Mayfield. Our O-line, they're going to be tested this week, and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what kind of wrinkles we have to. There's some wrinkles we put in this week that no one's seen, so we'll see what happens.
It's always a good thing about week one. You can surprise somebody with that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because the tape in the scrimmage is never exactly worth a whole lot, right?
No, not when we only run 8 plays, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Expectations for you, for this team this year.
This year.
Whether it's win or losses, what are you looking for from this group?
I can't really talk about wins and losses because You could ask me every week. We're there to win a game. I never go in a game playing a game not to lose it, or I hope I could keep this game close. I'm not that type of person, and I know people look at it like, man, if he went to kept chucking that ball around, we might have lost, but only lost by 10 or by. I'm there to win a game. If we lose a game, I don't care if it's by 1 or by 20, we lose the game. That's not acceptable to me and to our kids, and our kids buy into that too. We're never going to stop gunning it and throwing that ball. We're there to win games. Now, on our expectations is make the playoffs. We want to shock this state and make the playoffs. I really feel strongly that we're kind of hiding under the radar right now. You don't hear a whole lot about Alamo, and I like that. I like that a lot, because last year it was a little different. That way, every week we go in and we can be an underdog, and we'll see what happens. And I can tell you right now, our kids are going to fight. I don't question that a bit. They won't quit. They'll fight to the very end, and I think we're going to shock a lot of people this year.